All across black social media, you will always find black women threatening black men to replace them with white men. Now, this is not all sisters doing this, but it is enough that they have a community called the divestment community or divester community. Some go by the name of Swirlers. And there are even discussions on black social media about what kind of black women white men like.
So first of all, I've already given my opinion on that. I do think that white men, when they date black women, they go for a certain type of black woman, right? Who is more catering and all of these things. She probably went to school with a lot of white people. They find a person who's more like them. Okay. But in the sample size is just smaller. But why were you shaking your head, Cookie? You wouldn't agree with that?
No.
And there's also discussions about how much respect these white men give these black women when brothers do not do the same.
The reason why most white men accept black women for who they are, and y'all complain, and y'all have been programmed and taught to complain about us so much, is because the white men and the white churches, and they actually know who we are as a whole group of individuals. Let's just put that out there right now. Us as a whole race, they know who we are and what we are in our past and in our history. And they appreciate that. So when a white man gets with a black woman, it's a prize for him, because they never think that these type of women or this queen will look back. Y'all don't look at us as queens because y'all see us every day, and that we do have some bad representation out there right now that would make us lose our crown status. But what happens, instead of individualizing black women for their individual characteristics, y'all have blanketed all of us in the same category, and they're speaking in absolutes. White men don't do that. They look, like Shan just said, they look out for the regal type black female. Y'all don't care. The more regal we are, the more y'all hate us. And that has been programmed in y'all's head by the same men that's stealing us from y'all.
And if you were to listen to those arguments, you would believe, or you could believe, that yeah, hey, white men are just coming in taking care of black women because black men just don't want to. And I'm pretty sure you could find some evidence of that. I don't know how often you could find evidence of that, but I'm pretty sure that it's true. You could find a pocket of white men doing a lot for a black woman. I'm sure you can. But I think that the concern is that a lot of black women who prefer white men end up having some real bad experiences.
Hey y'all, what it is? So, I know I was hooping and hollering this past Sunday about that Oakland asshole who ghosted me that day, that Father's Day. He had me all excited to go eat sushi on Father's Day just to ghost me that morning. And I was all crazy, screaming, yelling, cussing out my bathroom, all that shit, okay? But y'all don't realize is that, because I got a lot of comments about how crazy I am, how I'm desperate for love, and I don't, and I get attached too easily. I don't always do. I reject some guys. Let me give you an example of me rejecting a dude. I hate rejecting men because I guess this is part of my BPD and my issues, is that I do reject men, but I regret it. So here's what happened. So I had been talking to this guy for a few days. He had matched with me. I didn't like his profile first. He liked my profile first. And I'm like, at first when I first saw him, I was kind of grossed out, but I'm like, okay, he has a nice beard at least. I find one thing that's good about this guy. I'm like, okay, he has a nice beard. He's about 6 foot tall. He's taller than me. He has a nice beard. Cool. Great. Let's chat with him. And he's white. Let's chat. He was gassing me up with the Good Morning Beautifuls every morning. And then I finally heard his voice. This was last night. We finally talked on the phone. This sounded like a black dude. It really sounded like I was on the phone with goddamn Kodak Black.
That brings us to the point of this video. You guys know about the situation going on with the lady Rose Miller and her husband Brett. And we all know that Rose Miller is definitely a sister that is, let me say, urban, You know, she has some content in which she's, you know, twerking, taking like half nude photos, things that you probably shouldn't do if you're a married woman, especially twerking on other men, which we won't talk about that today. But she's done that. Completely disrespectful. And, you know, this restaurant manager who has been working a lot found out something interesting whenever black women come into his restaurant with white men.
When I became a manager at a lot of these establishments, one thing that I came to learn, and it broke my heart, I'm not gonna lie, it really has affected the way my judgment towards certain people. But 8 out of 10 times you see a sister come in there, a black woman come in there with a white guy, she's footing the bill. That blew, like, they had me convinced with all the videos on social media that, yo, these white men are out here killing us, they're taking our best women, blah blah blah, till I got into this industry, started working, and my dude, a lot of times, 8 out of 10 times, you see a sister at an upscale restaurant with a white guy, she's footing the bill. It blew my mind when I started learning this, when I started seeing it.
And that's interesting. I want to get back to Rose Miller because they have this particular YouTube channel called The Queen of Kings. And on the outside, having a white man looks good. To her, at least. He's 6'5". A lot of black women are, you know, participating in the comment section. But let's not forget, she said this.
Let's not pretend that I'm the one that paid the down deposit on our house. Let's not pretend that I'm not the one that paid for the Range Rover. Let's not pretend that I'm the one that paid for this whole life that we live. Let's not pretend that. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. Oh, okay. Let's not pretend. Let's just be very, very real.
This is also the case with some black women like Lonnie Love, who's dating a man like James Welsh. We all know that Lonnie Love earns way more money than James Welsh, but we always see a lot of times on social media, whenever black women get with white men, on the outside, they try to make these white men look like they're competent, they have money, but they don't. These white men are typically broke and they don't have very much. We've seen so many interracial couples here on YouTube where you might have like a Nigerian woman or a black woman and a white man, and some of those people would castigate black men. And then you come to find out that the white man is not even their real father, or that the white man is a stepfather, or the white man is broke and he's only gotten some money because they made an interracial channel. And also the fact is, a lot of black women that get with white men are paying for them. It's more than what they want to admit. This is not me being mean, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not that black women can't get white men, but it's also that white men have a lot more opportunity than black women want to give credit for. Let me just say this. When I was coming out of high school, I didn't even take the SAT. I ended up going the junior college route. But let's just say, for example, I wanted to get into Stanford. Stanford's a very good school in California, but I damn sure didn't have the grades or even the SAT score to get into Stanford. I wanted to go there. They didn't want me to go there. Now, if I would have worked on myself and worked on my skills, could I have, graduated from Stanford? If I tried really hard and got some discipline, I'm assuming that I could have done so, but I just wasn't ready. Stanford had too many qualified applicants to deal with me. And this is the case with white men. No matter how you want to slice it, white men have a myriad of opportunities with all races of women, especially white women, okay? This does not mean that white men don't like black women, because we know that can't be true. I mean, look at our history as African Americans and the transatlantic slave trade, or look at what happened in Brazil with the Portuguese. We know that white men will marry black women and have no problems doing so. But they have a lot of opportunities with Asian women. They have a lot of opportunities with Latina women. They have a lot of opportunities with Asian women, okay? And especially Hispanic or white Latinas. They have these opportunities. And black women is a completely different culture in many aspects. And that means that, hey, as a rich white man, I can pass up what I have to get with black women. And I even find that very interesting when I see, interesting clips like this.
So I want to talk about this real quick, along with the black wife effect trend. And if you're not familiar with that, it's literally white men showing how their black wife took them from A to B. And a lot of times it's them, they're different style, they have a different aura, they just have a different, demeanor about themselves because they married these black women. And a lot of us were starting to see a lot of black women gravitate towards white men and specifically other cultures or other races. And I'm bringing this up because it's more prominent than we may believe. A lot of black women have this mindset. They may not be, actively going out to seek other races, but it's definitely something they're considering. And this isn't being talked about enough, in my humble opinion. And I believe that this is happening, black women choosing to date other races, is because these other races know how to treat a black woman and they know exactly what they're looking at when they see the black woman. The black woman is going to go where she is respected, honored, praised. She's going to go where she doesn't need to worry about a man knowing his role, knowing that he's a provider, so he will financially provide for the entire family. They don't have a problem going to men like that because they know that their nature calls to be with men like that. And unfortunately, we have a damaged perception. Black women have a damaged perception of ourselves as well as our black men. Therefore, we don't see that the black man is the man that can facilitate what we desire as women. So we naturally are going to go to other races if we feel as if they're going to treat us how we know we deserve to be treated. And we can also say the same thing about black men. They too are seeking other races to reproduce with. And I really want us to think about the fact that, is this a coincidence or is this something that is being programmed to happen? Now, I know this isn't the case for every single black woman. I know. However, a lot of black women are giving up on black men. And I want to know why. What is it about the black men that we no longer feel as if they can be our peace? What's happening? I want to know your opinion. Let me know in the comments.
And this is just simply not true. Billionaires prefer black women. That might be like one or two, but most people who are rich and have money will typically prefer their own race. And there are plenty of white women to go around. So the white men that black women can get might not be the ones they want. They're just probably more likely to deal with those white men because, well, number one, they're white. And they can give something that, a black man couldn't, which is possibly mixed or interracial children, which is also in the black community a plus for many sisters or even many brothers because their kids will get treated better in the community. They are closer to white. So I don't know what this whole thing is about with, these white men coming up doing all these great things for black women, when in fact, like the guy said, 80% of the black women with white men, black women are paying for. And one of the reasons why is because, well, the white man is on a higher totem pole than black people in general. So, the white man must be compensated to deal with somebody black. That might be the case. And also, a black woman can improve her societal standing by getting with a white man as long as he's white. He doesn't have to be successful, and she will still get some level of praise. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy Usher D Jackson back at it again with an episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Scare the bell. We're out.